Welcome to the Collaborative Rabbit Hole Podcast. I'm Luke.
And I'm Brandon.
We're two cousins who enjoy asking the deep questions of life.
With topics ranging from faith and theology to history, philosophy, culture, and humor.
But we explore every rabbit hole along the way.
And drive each other deeper and deeper down.
Our goal is simple, to be mildly informative and wildly entertaining.
So, pull up a chair.
Buckle up.
Please keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times.
And let's see where today's rabbit trail leads.
Jinx.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
You're sure?
No, let's do it anyway.
Today we will be clearing an even wider trail down the rabbit hole.
Otherwise it would be really crowded.
Because for the first time in our podcast history,
granted this is only our 5th episode,
we are joined by a very special guest, Brandon's sister, and my other cousin, Jennifer.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us about you.
So tell you about me.
Good luck.
Well, let's see. I am a high school math teacher. I taught geometry last year. I'll teach Algebra 1 next month.
And tell us just how overqualified you are for this job.
I have a PhD in mathematics.
Whoa.
I've wanted to be a teacher since I was little. I thought I wanted to teach college. I tried a little bit of teaching college when I was in graduate school, and that was okay, but I decided I wanted to go play with my computers. So I worked at the National Labs for a little while, and then decided I wanted more interaction with people and a little less interaction with computers. And so I moved to teaching high school, and I am enjoying it.
So what are the big differences between teaching high school and teaching college?
So age and maturity of students.
College students are mature?
Well, no, they're not mature, but high school students are even less mature. College students at least halfway want to be there. Some high school students do not. But differences that I like about high school are that I get more time to get to know my students. I see the same group of students every day, all day, 4 days a week. Whereas in college, I saw them for an hour and a half a week, and that was it, unless they came to office hours.
And how big were your classes in college?
I think the biggest class I taught at the college level was about 40 students.
Okay.
Which you could have it in a high school environment, but my current high school has a maximum class size of 25. So I will still have a smaller class size.
That helps a lot too.
I also like that in high school there's more time to go back and catch the basics, whereas in college I was given a set of chapters in the book that I had to cover, and you have to keep plowing forward because you have to get through all the material by the end of the semester. No negotiation. I didn't write the final exam, so it was my job to teach everything on the final exam, and there wasn't any time for me to stop and help fill gaps for students who had gaps.
So those who had gaps, they just had to fall behind?
Well, they had to find their own solutions to fill the gaps, either go to tutoring or go to office hours. It all really boils down to the same thing. The students who struggled in pre-calculus and calculus don't understand algebra. The students who struggled in my geometry class this year struggle in algebra. It all comes back down to needing a good foundation in algebra.
I tutor math on the side for our listeners. I don't think I mentioned that in my introduction.
I don't think you did, no.
But I tutor math, and I find the basics just very relaxing. Pre-algebra, algebra 1, I do it for fun. Kids are sitting there working, and they'll only have to do like half the problems on the page, and I'll do them all just to relax myself while they're working. And I have a lot of fun with that. Not so much fun with the more advanced stuff, because then I have to actually go back and study and prepare, and I get paid the same amount even though it's a lot more work. And so I don't enjoy that as much, and now I have stroke brain, and so I turned down a calculus student earlier this year, passed that on to somebody else who complained about all the work they were having to put in. So I was glad I passed on that one. What all does a PhD in math do beyond high school and basic college?
Well, career-wise or in school when you're studying to get your PhD? What's the question?
Both.
Both. Okay. So I went through what is called a pure math master's degree program at Baylor.
So there are corrupted maths?
Not corrupted maths, applied maths.
Huh.
There's actually a SIAM t-shirt, SIAM, SIAM. It's the Society for Industrial and Applied Mathematics. And on the back it says, "I'm not pure." And it's an applied mathematics joke because that's the Applied Mathematicians Organization.
That goes over all of our heads.
Yep.
Anyway, my master's level coursework was in traditional pure mathematics, which means you take a year's worth of work in abstract algebra, in topology, and in analysis, which is essentially really advanced calculus. There are other math master's programs that are applied mathematics, and I don't fully know what those cover since I wasn't in one. But you're going to get more functional analysis, more numerical analysis, mathematical modeling sorts of classes there, which I had a little bit of. But my master's degree was the traditional pure math. Now, if you ask anybody at Baylor, they will say, "Oh, Jennifer, she did applied math because I worked with the math on the computers rather than sitting around and proving algebra theorems or graph theory or something like that." But then I've gone to conferences and I talk to the engineers and I'll be presenting my work, here's my fancy polynomial tool. And they say, "So what's the application of this?" And I say, "Well, you engineers, you have differential equations and you put your differential equations into my solvers and then you can add my polynomial preconditioner tool to make it go faster." And the engineers look at me really blankly and they say, "So what's the application of that?" And so if you talk to any engineer, I'm still very much a pure mathematician, is what they would say. When I was at the National Labs, I worked in a whole lot of computational mathematics, so I got more into algorithms. That's actually kind of funny because in my undergrad, I started out as a math and computer science combined major, which essentially means you get a math minor and a computer science degree. And then I switched later to a math major with a computer science minor because I didn't care very much to learn about all of the hardware behind the computers. And I wanted to take upper level math classes where I could write proofs. Graduate school in mathematics is mostly writing proofs, by the way. I decided to take upper level math classes where I could write proofs and didn't have to learn about the hardware.
What's a proof?
It's what it sounds like.
It is proof of what
you start with a set of axioms. Axioms are statements you accept without proof, without evidence. We just all agree that these things are true.
That one I did know.
And you build up from your axioms to prove whatever statement you want to prove.
And then you end with QED?
Yeah, you end with a square, which stands for QED, quite easily done.
What? Oh, I was about to ask. You just told me.
Yeah. If you want to see a really good pseudo proof, go look up the Klein 4 group on YouTube. Oh, I'm trying to remember the name of their song. It'll come to me in a minute. But they've got a really good parody song. It's all math, but they try to make it into a love story. and there's math words all the way in. Finite Simple Group of Order 2 is the song by the Klein 4 group on YouTube.
Does somebody have to find their ex and they can't find her?
That, I think, it's one of the lines, yes.
Excellent.
Just don't ask why.
I see what you did there.
But anyway, so you write proofs a lot in mathematics. Where was I going with writing proofs?
Down a rabbit hole.
I was telling you what
That was
you
probably
do in
the
math
main
grad
trail, and you
school.
went down the rabbit hole.
Oh,
Yeah.
but I was telling you, okay, it was funny that I switched majors from math to computer science because then I went to the National Labs and started working with supercomputers. And so I basically had to go back and teach myself everything that I would have learned if I had kept that computer science major in college. So.
Yeah, me and Brandon are so quiet because we're not even qualified to find the rabbit trails in this discussion.
Not at all.
Well, you're the one who asked me what I did as a mathematician. So different mathematicians do different things. Some of them work in universities and they teach college level classes and they write papers and prove new theorems. Some of them jump ship and do something completely different from a mathematics degree. A lot of them get into statistics. One of my cohort actually went and got another master's degree in statistics. And he's working in finance now, I think. There's also the NSA, the National Security Agency. They are actually the biggest employer of mathematicians in the United States.
Wow.
So A lot of mathematicians end up working for the NSA, but you can't do that remotely. You have to move to Maryland, so I don't want to move to Maryland.
Interesting.
And Brandon thought his history degree had a lot of opportunities.
I did? I mean, yeah, I did. Why are you laughing at me? Oh, wait, that's the idea. Yay, keep going.
And yet you work at a bank which involves more math than history.
Exactly.
Maybe you should have gone into math.
Nah, I'm good.
I've told him he likes maps. He should go study something with geography and map making software and get a job there.
I love maps.
He does love maps. He nerds out over maps.
I do. I really do.
Sometime I may just bring a random map and let you nerd out on the show.
You should do that. I would like that.
I wish you listeners could see how lit up Brandon's face is right now.
I
He
should.
is.
I've got a picture, and we will post it on our Facebook page.
Yes. Taken out of context, I could use that face for a lot of things, though, so you'd have to be sure to tell them. This is specifically for the maps lighting up.
This is Brandon's map face.
Yes.
I have a math face. You have a map face.
Ha ha ha.
Luke is totally impressed.
But I'll even like include the whole little clip of audio and just have that as the picture on there and post a video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way we've got full context.
Yes. Do it.
So what exactly is abstract math?
There's different realms of abstract math, but abstract algebra talks about the structures around different number systems. You know, silly different things like you get into Algebra 1 and you wonder, why does a negative times a negative equal a positive? And nobody can really completely explain that to you. Well, when you get up into abstract algebra, you learn that there are these structures called rings, and the negative times a negative making a positive is part of what gives you this ring structure that we like over the number system. I'm not sure you want to ask these questions because I don't know that our readers or our listeners want to know what abstract math is.
I am actually interested.
Oh,
our
boy.
listeners probably don't care.
Too bad. You get to deal with it.
But then again, they may enjoy it. But my point is there are some things about math you just have to accept unless you want to go down those kind of rabbit holes.
Well, there's a handful of rabbit holes, so I'll give you a few more. I mentioned taking a course in topology. Topology...
What is topology?
Well, that's what I'm trying to think of. It's about different ways of defining closeness. Well, that's if you're in a metric space. But the colloquial way that people like to define topology to the public is it's the realm of math where you can turn a coffee cup into a donut and back. It's about holes in spaces. So the handle of a coffee cup has one hole.
Yeah.
And you can kind of think of Play-Doh, kind of mushing the Play-Doh around that handle of the coffee cup and maintaining that one hole and getting a donut. So a coffee cup and a donut can be topologically equivalent spaces.
Sounds more like transfigurations at Hogwarts.
That could be relevant, yes.
Sounds like a job for Professor McGonagall.
I'll also say I was really excited that my high schoolers this year watched WALL-E on our school movie night because WALL-E has a spaceship called
The Axiom.
the Axiom.
That's news to me.
You didn't know that?
I think I saw parts of WALL-E. I don't think I ever watched it.
Oh, it's a good
although-
one.
Okay, so now we're going to have to show Luke WALL-E.
No, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
No,
Yes.
I'm good.
Too bad.
So on WALL-E, there's a spaceship called the Axiom. And as I said before, an axiom is a statement that you're accepting without proof.
You accept it without questioning, and that's exactly what the people do on the spaceship.
It is.
They accept it as reality, and they don't question it.
If you say so.
It is. It's really fitting. Anyway,
It's what taught me what axioms are.
Oh,
and you remembered it. I tried to use that illustration with one of my college classes talking about what is an axiom, and I got a whole bunch of eye rolls and bored faces. They were like, "WALL-E, that's such an old movie, and it's so boring." And I'm like, "Seriously, guys?" So I was really excited this year when my high school students chose to watch. They voted on movies, and they voted for WALL-E, and they watched WALL-E for their movie night. And so now they can't tell me that it's too old and too boring because they voted to watch WALL-E. So now I can use that illustration in math class. Haha.
And it wasn't too old when we saw it in theaters, because we're that old.
Yeah, we're that old.
How old is it?
I don't know, what, 08, 09? Or is it later than that? Like, yeah, look
I'm
this
gonna
up.
look this up.
When did Wall-E come out?
I just pull it up on IMDb. Oh, you're right.
What?
2008.
Huh!
So I would have been in like middle school at that time.
I graduated middle school at that time.
So let's see, the college students I was teaching, this would have been around 2016, 2017. So that movie was only 8 or 9 years old then. So if they were 18 or 20, they would have been in like 12 or 13 when it came out, right?
What, college students? That would have been
Yeah,
between...
so 2016, 2017, I was college age at that time, so middle schoolish.
Yeah. So I guess they just all thought that Wall-E was boring. I don't know.
Aw.
I mean, I saw just parts of it and thought it was boring, so
You got to see the whole thing. It gets better when it adds on, or when the story keeps going.
There's philosophy in it. And so if you're too young that the philosophy goes completely over your head, then I could see how maybe it would be boring.
if you say so. I don't particularly like animated movies to begin with, which you know very well, Brandon.
I do indeed. Makes it hard to get him to watch stuff. But you did watch the first, was it Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, or was it, no, it was the one, that was the sequel, wasn't it?
I don't know what it was. I was bored by whatever Spider-Man thing you made me watch that was animated.
Yeah, I think it was Into the Spider-Verse, and the sequel was Across the Spider-Verse. Okay, yeah, I got you to watch the first one with me.
I still haven't seen the first one of those Spider-Man movies. I saw the second one because one of my kids wanted to go see it in theaters. But I don't think I've ever seen the first Spider-Man multiverse movie.
It's a good one if you get the chance.
I felt like I need to because I went and watched the second one and there was like this person who died in the first one or something and I don't know what happened. So,
So you'll have to explain one of your kids.
or do I? It's a podcast. I am a former foster parent. I've done short-term care and long-term care for kids from ages 9 months old to 20 years old. And so I've had a lot of kids in and out of my home. So none of them are my biological children, but I saw the Spider-Man multiverse second movie because one of my kids wanted to go see it.
There we go.
There we go.
What else do we need to know about you?
What else do you need to know about me? I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Just happened to be in town this week with Luke and Brandon.
Which is why she's on the show right now.
Yay!
Had to get her while she's here.
Yep.
Yep, you might see me back again around Christmas.
Woo! Special episode, holiday special.
Perhaps.
Cool.
If we're still going at that point.
If we're still going, we got to make it past the first 10 episodes.
We got to make it past 100 views first.
Well, yeah, I mean, or that, or we could just keep going until...
So what,
till
you're
we're
not
tired.
going to record more episodes if you don't get 100 views?
Oh, we're going to get 100 views. We are sitting at... Oh, we got 100!
100 total?
As of this morning, it was only
Milestone
at
accomplished.
99, and
Yes.
now it is 100.
Woohoo!
Who's listening to these? I'm not complaining. I'm happy. I'm just, who's listening to these?
And the 100th listen actually goes to episode 1,
Yes.
which puts episode 1 at 51 total views. Or
Hey.
listens, I guess views is technically the wrong word. But
Technically.
yeah,
For the record, I still haven't listened to episodes 2 and 3 yet, so.
As of this point, neither have I.
But you recorded them.
I did. I just hadn't listened to them yet.
I've listened to all of them many, 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 many times.
Oh, I know. You're the editor.
Yes, and I've spent hours upon hours upon hours with all of them. And then, on the way to church camp the last few weeks, I had kids in the car with me on the way there and back, and captive audience to listen to it.
Captive
So I
audience.
listened to the full thing again with them. So that was fun.
So is this like, did you listen to it with them after publishing it or before publishing it?
After.
After. Okay, so
I wanted our listen to count towards our stats.
gotcha. I was going to ask, so it does count. Towards
I wasn't
Slightly
going to
inflated
just...
statistics there.
Yeah. And I will say, when I listened to the first episode, I listened to the finished copy that you sent me before publishing it. So my first ever listen didn't count. So we have enough views without my listening to the official release, but we still got 100 views. So that's pretty cool.
Except it's still counting all of mine. Not all of mine,
But I guess
several of mine.
yours count more since you've had kids in the car.
That's true.
I just called it a view. It's a listen.
Listen. And technically, it's listens and downloads. So anybody who subscribes and has it set to automatically download, it may have downloaded, but they haven't actually listened to it yet.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
We never
but it
know.
Can't track who's actually listened to it. I didn't realize
it probably can, but it groups it all together in my stats, and I can't tell the difference.
Interesting. Because I go through and I'll say, oh, this looks interesting. I'll download that for later, download that for later, download that for later.
I've got so many packed up, stored up on my phone that I need to listen to. So many.
It is interesting. Like on episode 2, I noticed that the average, I forget what they call it, but the average percentage of the episode they've listened to is like 147% or something. And so that means people might be rewinding and listening to parts again if they didn't catch something, or they might even be listening to the whole episode again.
Huh.
So I was really pleased to see that particular statistic.
Thank you, listeners.
Indeed. So what do you think of our podcast so far, having only listened to episode 1?
I mean, so far so good. Episode 1 had some nice laughs. Of course, I understand more of the jokes since I've been around you, lived with you, heard all the commentary.
She knows things about me.
Know how much Luke is afraid of dogs.
Did you know that I used to be afraid of dogs and I still have a tiny bit of it?
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay, yeah.
And yet you liked them at the same time.
Yeah, I've gotten better.
A walking paradox.
Indeed. Well, you've got to acclimate yourself to the thing you fear. You've got to overcome your fear and work through it. So that's what I've been attempting to do.
Well, I've gotten a lot better with dogs. I had a roommate in grad school who had a little blind Cocker Spaniel, so that was my first intro to living with dogs. And then I stayed with Lisa a few weeks in Albuquerque with her black lab, and she had another medium-sized dog at the time, and he was kind of rowdy, so he broke me more into dogs. The other night I saw Uncle Robbie and Aunt Delisa's dog Max.
Yay, Max.
Max, he's fun. He's a double doodle. And so I enjoyed petting Max. And I was trying to tell him to lie down, lie down, lie down. Because they said he knew how to sit and he knew how to lie down. And then Uncle Robbie goes, he only knows lay down.
Semantics.
Great. So we know grammar here. Lovely.
So given your experience with a blind dog and with seeing dogs, what are the big differences?
I mean, one of them can see and one of them can't. That's...
I mean, there's that, but like, how does it change their behavior?
Well, the blind one would just snuffle around, and once she found her way around the apartment, she was mostly okay. But at first, she just had to kind of bump into things to figure out where they were. And seeing dogs don't usually bump into things.
Yeah,
I will say, like, this is going to sound bad, but
okay.
The dog that I once felt most comfortable around was really old and also blind and deaf.
Huh.
And so wouldn't be seeking me out and jumping up on me, just kind of sniffing around, and wouldn't have hardly any idea that I was there.
Huh. Besides smelling you.
Yeah, I still tell dogs we can be friends, but only after you stop jumping on me. I don't like being jumped on or licked. They like to lick me.
Yeah, like I told Brandon in episode 1, if a dog is licking me, its mouth is too close to my skin. Not good. So your first reaction to our podcast was actually about the audio.
Oh, well, that was my first reaction to you. I told you that your audio was kind of funky because listening to it in headphones, I had Brandon in one ear and Luke in the other ear, and then they swapped ears, and then they swapped ears again, and everything was clear, but
we like to keep you on your toes.
I'd like to keep both of you in both ears if I could.
Yeah, so the interface we were recording on had us recording separately because we're using different mics. But when it went to my computer, it somehow separated us right side versus left side.
Yeah.
And that was driving me crazy during editing. And then at one point we swapped seats. And also we did 2 takes of those first 2 episodes. Technically the first episode we did 1 take and then decided to redo it, and it suddenly became 2 episodes, and so we had this other take, and I was trying to edit in material from that. And then on top of that, the interface wasn't letting us monitor our sound, and so we weren't 100% sure it was recording, and so we just recorded 5, 10, 15 minutes at a time just so we wouldn't lose everything if it turns out not to be picking up our mics.
Yeah.
And so I was having to edit those together. And at one point between takes or between segments, we had swapped seats. And so when I was coming out the right side and Brandon was on the left, all of a sudden the ears swapped. And then
surprise!
At a few points, my mic kept going out, but Brandon's was picking me up. And so then we're both in the left ear, and it was just really chaotic. And I picked that up on my editing headphones, when I listened to it in the car, when I listened to it on my headphones, it showed up in all of them, and it drove me crazy. And I was asking ChatGPT how to fix that, and it suggested I get a new recording software, because I was just using the recording software that came on my computer.
Yeah.
Get a new one where you can separate the channels, because obviously it's already coming through separately since it's splitting left ear versus right. You just need the software to program those separate channels. And then I also got a new piece of hardware, especially for when we have a third microphone like today, because the one we were using only had 2 channels. And so I was working this out last night, and I found a free software to record with and couldn't quite figure out how to use it. And so I asked ChatGPT again, well, how do I do this thing that you told me to do? And, well, tell me exactly what hardware you're using. And it's like, oh, it turns out you can't do that with that hardware.
Plot twist.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
And I'm like, so how do I fix this problem that we're having? What editing software are you using? And I tell it, and, oh, there's just a button you can click after the fact. Like, even though it recorded separately, you can combine it all. You just click this button. And so I went back to episode 1 where I have that saved on my computer, and I clicked the button, and it fixed everything.
Oh, wow.
So all this time, I could have just clicked a button and had it fixed. But now I know how to do it for our future episodes if that happens.
10th anniversary episodes.
But really, with this new hardware, I don't think that's happening anyway, because it shouldn't be separating any of our audio. So yeah, all that time I'd been asking ChatGPT how to fix that. Well, try this and do this, and it's been a single button I had to click the entire time. Made me think of, like, on Full House, in the early seasons, little Stephanie, they would ask, why didn't you tell us this? Well, nobody asked me. And I'd been asking ChatGPT about the problem, but I didn't ask a specific enough question, apparently. And so yeah, that just kind of drove me crazy.
Our AI overlords think differently than we do.
Indeed.
Human expertise would have won again. Just click the button, dude.
Yep.
Another one bites the dust.
So that one is still driving me crazy.
There.
So what were we talking about?
I don't know. We went with dogs to recording. Oh, asking Jennifer's opinion on how the podcast was.
Indeed.
And before that, you were asking me what mathematicians do.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think we care about that anymore.
Speaking of animals, do you have any animals?
Oh, I have 2 cats. One of them is a tabby named Spike, and one of them is a fluffy, she's white and gray, fluffy white and gray cat named Snowflake. I did not name them. They came with names.
Pre-named.
They actually came with Chinese names because I adopted them from a Chinese student who had to go back to China during COVID. So I can't really say their names, but Spike was Zhongji, which is some sort of meat that they eat for maybe the Lunar New Year. And Snowflake was something like Kimi, supposed to sound like a kissing sound.
Huh.
So I can't pronounce their Chinese names, but they actually have Chinese names. But they came to me with the English names too. I didn't name them.
Okay, because I was about to ask how they're pre-named if you can't pronounce their original names.
They were pre-named. They had Chinese names and English names.
If you have those written down, I've got a Chinese friend from college. I could text him, hey, how do you
Well,
pronounce
I
this?
have them written down in American letters.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I would be curious if you could send those to
Well,
me.
I could
I
try.
might pass them on and see what happens.
Okay.
Brandon was friends with a lot of the international students at OC.
Yeah, they're pretty cool people.
They are.
My best friend was an Ethiopian.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. We had this group. So the Ethiopian girl, the Chinese guy, and then me, the American guy. We would hang out. We would study a lot. It was great. And one of our Brazilian friends would sometimes join us and stuff, and we'd study together, and it was great.
Start of a great joke.
An Ethiopian, a Chinese guy, a Brazilian guy, and an American guy walked into the library.
Yep, I was about to say it can't be a bar because we were at a Christian school that didn't allow that kind of thing.
We would have been kicked out of the school, not the bar.
Well, probably the bar, too. You were under 21.
Yeah, until the final 2 years. I was a super senior, so 21 and 22.
Get closer to the mic.
Okay.
Too close.
Too close, a little bit back. There.
No, look at that wave there.
I see. That's a big wave.
It was indeed.
I'm riding the sound waves into your ears.
Surfing.
Surfing. I mean, you can ride the waves.
Yeah.
But surfing is the official word for riding waves.
Mm-hmm.
I can do both at the same time.
That was the Girl Scout cookie theme song one year when I was still in Girl Scouts, was about Ride the Wave.
Ha.
Girl Scout
or he
cookie
may just-
theme song?
Yes, they had a Girl
I
Scout
did not know such a
cookie
thing existed.
theme song each year.
Me neither. So did they write a new song every year?
I think they did, but I guess this is the only one I remember. And
That
then it
must have been a local thing.
I don't think so.
Because according to Google AI, there is no official Girl Scout theme song.
Well, it changed each year. That year's theme was Ride the Wave.
The most
So there's not one that would
popular, widely used song is sung to the tune of Frere Jacques. Girl Scout cookies, yum, 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 yum. Eat 'em by the dozen, eat 'em by the dozen. Now they're all gone, now they're all gone.
I guess it must have been regional, though, because there's apparently actually 2 different bakeries that make Girl Scout cookies, and they call them different things in different regions.
Really?
And so this song named all the different Girl Scout cookies that we had at the time.
Did I ever tell you about when Girl Scouts came up with those s'mores cookies?
No.
Okay, so I think the manager at my bank at one of the other branches was selling Girl Scout cookies for his daughter. And so I was like, you know what? I see these s'mores cookies on the list. Let me try some of these. It was wonderful. Like, do you remember growing up when we had those Ritz Bits s'mores?
Yes.
I loved those things.
I guess they don't make them anymore, do they?
No, they discontinued them, and I was sad. And when I tried these Girl Scout cookies, it was the closest to Ritz Bits s'mores I had had in years. So the next time I made sure to buy 2 packages, and I was going to buy 3 packages the following year, but they discontinued them.
I know they discontinue the best flavors. Apple cinnamon was my favorite, but that's been gone for years and years.
So, while y'all were talking about whatever, I was looking that up, and it is copyrighted, so
Haha, good luck.
Okay,
I'll have to edit the song out, but
We could try posting it and then just not getting any funding from it, but we're not getting funding anyway, so
no,
never mind then.
I'm not going to try it.
It's
I'll edit it out.
advertising Girl Scout cookies, but anyway.
But it does say that Ride the Wave was a popular regional marketing and cookie drive theme in 2001.
There you go.
Created by several local councils, which featured patches, pins, and custom council songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
So 2001, that was a long time ago.
That's older than some of our listeners.
Indeed. Actually, so at church camp a couple weeks ago, our director was preaching one night. This was at a high school session, so not my dad, but he's talking about something that happened in like 1992 or 94 or something like that. And while he's talking, he has the realization that that's before most of all of you were born.
Mhm.
And I called out, that's before I was born. Because I'm like the 3rd oldest person in the room. And that's still before I was born.
I heard that, I think it was the Air Force, it's like they used to mention 9/11 in one of their lessons or something, but they had to stop because none of the recruits were old enough to have seen 9/11.
Well, you notice all the save buttons on everything have turned into arrows now instead of an outline of a floppy disk, because
I'm going to have to go back.
it's not on every app, but it's on a lot of them, and that's because the kids these days have no earthly idea what a floppy disk is.
Huh. I'm going to have to look at my dashboard at work and see how this looks.
Well, I heard a story about, I saw it on Facebook probably, about somebody who saw a floppy disk and asked why their parents had a 3D printed version of the save button.
I think I've seen that.
I have not yet seen that.
I've used a floppy disk.
I used to use them all the time.
I learned about them in middle school.
I used to use them all the time.
When I was in elementary school, I started my own business,
Oh.
paper toys for kids. It was a origami type thing. I just got into origami and did this for fun, and I think I made a total of 15 cents from it, actually.
Nice.
But I had all of my marketing materials saved onto a floppy disk. And I've still got that floppy disk in my closet, but I have no way to access any of the information on there.
And now we have these phones in our pocket that can hold the same amount as... Goodness, it would have been whole piles of floppy disks, the amount of data that can fit on our phones.
It has more. Our phones can hold more data than the original lunar landers, if I recall.
Our phones can hold more data than the original supercomputers, I believe.
Wow.
And she knows supercomputers.
Well, I know parts of supercomputers. There's a lot to know about supercomputers.
You know more about supercomputers than any of us do.
Combined.
No, that's probably true.
Yes.
Oh, public service announcement and other things that kids don't know. Teach your kids how to use a computer with a tower or a box, something where the compute piece is separate from the screen. Because our little computer lab at school, it has some little boxy Windows 10 clients, and they're all hooked up to screens. And of course, something will go wrong with the computer, and I will tell a student to push the power button. And at least half of them push the power button on the screen. And I have to explain that that is not the computer. Turn off the computer. That's that boxy thing over there. So, a public service announcement. Teach your kids where the power button of a computer is. That'll help in high school. Thanks.
So that actually leads me to a fun story, because my grandma, not our grandma, my other grandma, called me one day asking for help with her computer. And so I drove over to her house and walked back to the room where she has her computer. And this is one of those computers. And she's doing something. And so I just walked back to the room with the computer and I turn it on and waiting for it to boot up. She comes around the corner and she's like, "What did you do?"
And you're like, "What do you mean? What did I do? Did
I
just
turned
break
it on.
What sorcery
"No,
is this?"
you fixed it. What did you do?" I said, "I haven't even found the problem yet. I haven't done anything. I've just turned it on. I'm still waiting for it to boot up." But the screen was black. I pressed all the buttons and the screen was black. "What did you do to make it come on?" Boop. And I thought about it. And I'm like, well, I pressed the power button on the screen. Turns out she'd pressed all of the buttons except the power button.
Oh.
I guess my aunt or uncle or my mom maybe had been the last to use her computer and had turned the screen off, where she was used to it just staying on, and where it would just come on when you turn the computer on. And so now the screen was off and she didn't know she had to press the separate power button for the screen.
Yeah. We grew up with computers where we have to we turn the screen off or on without turning the computer off or on. And like that would save it so that it doesn't freeze the image on the screen. Wasn't that one
I
of the
don't know.
issues?
You were just supposed to turn the computer off when you were finished using it. That's not a thing anymore either. You hardly ever turn your computer off. You just leave it on all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, I turn my personal laptop off whenever I'm done using it, but
Well, you've got a laptop dinosaur, so
it is true. It likes to roar in the mornings. That was a joke.
he's not kidding. It does make quite a bit of noise.
Oh, it certainly does.
But we did reveal, like in episode 2 maybe, that you haven't listened to yet. One reason that Brandon had for wanting to do this podcast was needing a computer to use all of his audio equipment with. And so we decided he's using me for my computer.
And you're using me for my voice.
And for your equipment.
And that too.
And so it's more of a mutual dependency we finally agreed upon.
Yes.
But
it's a symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic parasitism, is that the proper scientific term? Or
no, it would
term?
be mutualism, because we're both benefiting.
That's it, mutualism.
Parasitism is where one is benefiting and the other is being harmed.
True, but there can also be varying degrees to which one side needs the other more. And anyway,
yes, but that would still be mutualism.
Well, yes.
As long as one's not being harmed.
But then what would make it symbiotic parasitism?
If the parasite somehow helps the host.
No, that would be mutualism.
Why can't it be both?
Mutualism and symbiotic parasitism aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. I mean, I'm not a biologist, but I'm just saying.
Let's Google
They're
this.
back to
Yes.
Google again, both of them.
That is symbiotic.
In mutualism, both organisms benefit from their relationship, while in parasitism, one organism, the parasite, benefits at the expense of the other.
Okay, but what about
Which is
symbiotic
harmed.
parasitism?
They're all symbiotic. Parasitism is symbiotic.
Then what's symbiotic?
He's just being redundant by saying it. Symbiosis is the umbrella term for any close, long-term ecological interaction between two different species.
Ah.
Mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism are simply the three main types of symbiotic relationships, categorized by how each organism is affected.
Okay, so my information was a little bit... I was a little rusty with my memory. I didn't quite have it.
So they are mutually exclusive.
Yes,
Okay, I stand corrected.
indeed.
I thought I'd read something about varying degrees to which one host, or the host and the parasite, could benefit each other, but maybe
Well,
I was
I'm sure
mistaken.
there are varying
I mean,
degrees of it. but-
there may be cases like where both benefit and one benefits in some ways while also being harmed in other ways. That
Yeah.
may be possible too,
Mhm.
but I think it would still be defined in one way or the other.
Yeah, alrighty.
I don't know,
Me neither.
but I'm the biology expert here,
I'm the animal
as
guy.
close as we can get.
I'm a mathematician who knows nothing about biology.
Exactly.
I'm also a history guy who knows some about history.
I'm the self-proclaimed jack of all trades.
I'm the guy who likes maps.
But you've been through EMT school and some of paramedic school, so you've had probably more biology than we have.
Yes. It's not
Human
odds.
related.
Well, yes.
But still, yes.
The animal and plants is really limited to what I had in high school. I did take AP biology, got my college credits that way.
Nice.
I've never had a college level biology class.
Me neither.
Interesting.
I took an earth science class for my science elective, so
Fun story though.
I like fun stories.
AP biology, I mean, it's more of a miserable story.
Oh. It'll be fun for us to enjoy your misery.
Probably. AP biology was like my first semester B in high school. It was quite the scandal.
Definitely.
You know, I would have felt that way when I was in high school, but now having
Oh,
graded
oh,
grades
oh,
for high schoolers.
hold on a second. This was an 89.46.
So, okay.
89.5 automatically rounds up to an A.
Right.
Most teachers at my school would have rounded up a full point, but this teacher was such a stickler, she would not give me 400ths of a point.
I think I at least would have said, hey, Luke, do this thing of extra credit here in 10 minutes so I could round you up to an A.
Well, she offered me a few different things, but she would only give each one like so many points, and she would plug it in, and she's like, oh, that's still not enough. I still can't get you up to an 89.5. And like just the effort, most teachers would have taken care of it. And
I would have given you an assignment and said, if you complete this, I will make sure you get up to an 89.5.
And she left me at this 89.46. And I lost my 4.0 GPA. And this was junior year, so I had a little bit of time to work it back up. But I went from being 7th in my class to number 13, and I worked my way back up to number 12, but I was out of the top 10.
That does suck.
Which, I mean, 12 is still really good. I was in a class of close to 400, but top 10, like, was my dream.
Yeah.
And she crushed it.
Aw.
And I lost my perfect 4.0 and graduated with a 3.9394. And yes, I remember the exact number because that's how deeply this has affected me.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was funny, in grad school, there was a semester where my friend Peter had memorized all of his test scores for each class, so he knew what he needed on the next test to get what grade you wanted. And he memorized all of my test scores also. And I
Why?
I don't know. He just remembered them because I mean it wasn't a secret. We would all get back to class and share what grades we made with each other. But he memorized my test scores, and I had not memorized my test scores. So Peter could tell me for both of us what grade I needed to make on the next test.
Wow.
Well, I will say that was one thing that I really liked to do in college. And it was, I don't know if I can call it laziness. It was mostly laziness, where I would look up my grades and then I would calculate what do I need to make on this assignment to have this grade for the semester, and decide how much effort to put into that assignment based on that information.
I feel like if more students did that, we would have more people passing classes.
I think we would. A lot of my high schoolers are just convinced that they will somehow magically pass at the end of the semester, no matter what they do, and that's not true.
I mean, do they get held back if they don't pass?
So in high school, it's not necessarily a matter of being held back, but you have to complete so many credits to get your high school diploma. And so if you fail the class and it was a required credit, you have to retake it. You have to have 4 years of past English and 4 years of math and 3 years of science and so on and so forth.
And then there was that psychology class that me and you had together.
That's right.
And it was a big class, but assigned seating in alphabetical order. And so me and Brandon are right next to each other.
That's great.
But there was no required attendance in this class. Like, you had to be there on test days, but other than that, he didn't mark off if you missed class. He would instead give extra credit if you were there so many times, and different levels of extra credit. And then there's, of course, no extra credit at all. And so I just didn't go to class most of the time. I would talk to Brandon and other classmates and get test dates so that I would be there.
I went to class all the time.
Yes, I fully expect that you did. But since he's keeping track of the attendance for the extra credit, he did plug in like what percentage of class you were there for at the end of the semester. And I was there 46% of the time, which is better than just test days. But it was my only 9 a.m. that whole year. It was my earliest class out of 2 semesters that year, and I just didn't really bother with it.
So why didn't you come to the 9 a.m. class?
Because I would rather sleep at 9 a.m.
I mean, me too, but it's a class. Class is important.
I wasn't a psychology major or minor.
Okay.
Nor was Brandon.
Nor was I, but I still went.
I just needed to pass the class.
He's not a morning person. I'm a morning person.
I used to be a morning person.
I still made like a 96 for the semester.
And that's good.
Even not being in class. So why did I need to go to class again?
To say that you did.
Because basically we went and he just repeated what was already in the textbook.
So if you read the textbook, you knew everything.
Exactly.
Assuming you retain what is in the textbook, but you did, so.
It gave you all these extra exercises to do from the textbook.
There were also the occasional videos, like, what was it? What do you call it when you separate the hemispheres of the brain?
You mean a lobotomy?
A lobotomy.
Hi, Luke here. As I was editing this episode, I realized that I was wrong about this. What Brandon is describing is not a lobotomy, but actually a corpus callosotomy. This is when they will surgically snip the corpus callosum, which is what bridges the left and right hemispheres of the brain. They'll do this, like, especially with severe epilepsy, to prevent the left and right hemispheres from communicating to each other, and therefore limit how far the electrical signals can travel, and therefore reduce the severity of the seizures.
We saw a video on that one time. It was kind of disturbing.
So hold on a second.
Yes.
You were there.
Laugh it up, Jennifer.
You can't hear me laughing, but I'm over here silently.
I got distracted by Jennifer's face.
Normally it's my face that distracts him.
My point is, you were in class every time.
Yes.
I wasn't.
Yes.
But you forgot the term lobotomy.
Yes.
And I remembered it.
Yes.
So why did I need to be in class
he's seen
again?
a video
'Cause
of it,
you-
so that just tops all.
Exactly. You could have seen a black and white video of lobotomies and a scientific explanation of it, and you could have been traumatized like the rest of us.
What makes you think I haven't seen such a video?
Well, I don't know. We've never talked about it. Have you seen a video of a lobotomy?
Probably.
So you're not certain.
I've seen lots of surgeries, and I've seen like really gross surgeries.
Well, if you had come to psychology class, you could have seen it and you could be absolutely certain that you have seen a video of a lobotomy, a video of a lobotomy.
You need to calm down because you can't talk when you're excited.
That's all, folks. And then there was also a video that was like a schizophrenia simulation of sorts.
Was it 17 minutes and 24 seconds?
That was 12 years ago. I don't remember the exact time. Is it?
Oh, man.
What?
I was like, that wasn't 12 years ago. And I looked at the date, it was 12 years ago.
Yes!
But, no, the video posted was more recent. So, but yes, I see several black and white videos of lobotomies on YouTube that I can go and watch.
But you haven't watched them, and you haven't been traumatized, so you missed out on the experience.
I will go watch them later so that I can experience the trauma that you have. Although I probably won't be as traumatized as you because I've seen a lot of things.
Probably not.
Well, you've had stroke brain at this point, so.
That too.
And I wasn't too traumatized. It was more just, it was kind of gross, kind of rough to watch, but it wasn't like, it didn't scar me for life. It was just interesting and disgusting at the same
Then
time.
why did you use the word traumatized a few minutes ago?
Because some of the other students might have been traumatized. Because we use traumatized when we talk about being disturbed. That's what they say colloquially.
Exaggeration.
Exaggeration. There it is.
And this is why you're a history major.
It is?
Not psychology, not English.
I'm a history major because I like history, and one of my advisors talked me into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was making a joke.
Good for you.
Back to what do mathematicians do? You should go on YouTube and look up a video called A Math Major Talks About Fear. And
Ooh.
she goes through all the reactions she gets when she tells people that she's a math major. And it is so true, and she has the best faces to go with it. Highly recommend.
I think I recall there was a math teacher at OC. His son, who was one of my suite mates, he was telling us there is a way you could technically prove that unicorns exist with math, isn't there?
I don't think there's any way to prove that unicorns exist.
It would depend on what axioms you take to be granted.
Or maybe it was either that, or it was that there was no way to prove that unicorns do not exist. Or there was something about it that was funny.
That might have been true.
Okay,
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I find it difficult to believe that there is any way to prove that they exist when obviously they don't.
Indeed, that is fair. Unless we count rhinos as unicorns.
But at the same time, if we're talking about turning coffee mugs into donuts or whatever, maybe.
Who knows at this point?
She shrugged. She's the only one that might have any clue in this room.
I have not proved anything about unicorns lately.
Lately?
So it happened long ago.
I didn't say that.
Oh. You got my hopes up for nothing.
That sounds suspicious. She's neither confirming nor denying. And keeping her mouth shut.
Was this part of your job that you can't tell us about?
I did not work with unicorns in my job at the labs.
Oh, okay.
So, well, this raises an interesting question because our most recent 2 episodes, once this airs, only one so far really, are about aliens. And you are in New Mexico.
I am not
Can
aware
neither confirm
of,
nor deny.
I am not aware of any aliens in our universe. I have not done any research about aliens, nor have I received any information about aliens from my work
It was
at the
qualified. Did you notice, Brandon? It was qualified within our universe.
Oh.
What do you know about other universes?
I don't know anything about other universes either.
Why not?
I don't know. Why not you?
I haven't studied it. Have you?
No?
Okay, there we go.
Seems like more of a job for a mathematician than a history major, though.
Indeed. I can only prove what's already happened. I can't prove the future. Why are we staring at each other?
Because we're tired and we're running out of things to say.
Mexican standoff.
I wish you guys could see their faces right now.
If we take pictures, we can.
No, we're good.
Okay.
Now, we were talking about, we intended to talk about church camp.
Well, we could have done a whole episode on church camp, but you said we're going to keep that in our back pockets. I need a stretch break.
Well, take a stretch break.
This is a good time for a break. Let's take a break and come back.
Okay. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please like, subscribe, and leave a review. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, where the conversation never ends. Thanks for listening.